in the NFL season, as we've got a good one here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Goff on first down. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 13 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
180. 154. Target.
Goff on third down. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
This pass from Goff to Everett, the tight end. 22 yards there, a first down. You think back to the Super Bowl against New England, the Rams never even got into the red zone in that game, and now here they are in the red zone on their opening drive with a first down. Gone. This is caught, and he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Brandon Cooks. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Rams take it right down and score on the opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well. Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot. Wilson, the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys. Flush to his right. And he's taken down, but... able to slip across the 35. Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain. On first down, it's Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
On 2nd and 15 now. Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing is Wilson, and the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Fights loose. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Rams are going offense here with a 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. From the gun, here's Goff. He gets it to Cooks. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Down right around the 25. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They'll look to get something started. They need to. Down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They run it with Carson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He completes it to Evans. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. The numbers for Evans a week ago. 4 catches, 114 yards, and a score.
And in the preseason, I thought he was primed for a big, big year. And week 1 did absolutely nothing to diminish those expectations.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now it's Carson, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check, 93's the mic, 93's the mic.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. So they need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. Goff, a quick throw, complete to Cooks. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down. There again is Cooks, complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on third. Goff. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
From the 40 now on second down. Wilson, this complete to Lockett. And he's taken down all the way inside the LA 10. It's a big play there for Seattle. 52 yards. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Mike Evans. His 2nd touchdown on the season as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Wilson's pass complete to number 13, Mike Evans.
Jason Myers now for the extra point.
Jason Myers.
And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Todd Gurley and the Rams offense set to take over. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Goff now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. All that, and it only nets him a yard. It's 2nd down.
Let's go, defense.
Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full
touchdown, LA! Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit. A good measure.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Goff now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Goff now looking to throw. That'll be caught by Kupp. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now it's gone. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the 50, it's gone. This is caught. It's Cooks. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Throwing again is Goff. Then he'll find his target, Woods. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27. From the red zone now, Goff. And that's complete to Cooks. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
2nd down and goal. Goff into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against?
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Over 30 yards there, and first downs on 3 consecutive plays now.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important, too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
14.
Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But Brandon, this is a different type of football.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. He's at the 50. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. And Woods has it complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. Zone touchdown Rams. Robert Woods, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are going to jump back in front. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, Actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He'll have a first down past the 40. Open man, it's Vanette. As they finally wrangle him in at the 48. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Wilson now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson, escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. It's caught, Lockett. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. To throw is gone. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougald. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back now in Los Angeles. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson, he finds his target. It's Evans. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Mike Evans His second touchdown on the season. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect. I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. 16 yards is the pickup there at a 1st down for L.A. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back to throw. Goff. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Goff throwing again. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, 91 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Dante Fowler able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
He gets it to Cooks. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here's Goff. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Dante Fowler. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. On 2nd and 9, Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Mike Evans, his third touchdown of the game and fourth on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Goff now looks to throw. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun. Goff. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing stuff.
Again, Goff. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
But looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. Right? We always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the green, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Here's Wilson, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Myers' kick is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Getting set to go again here on offense, Jared Goff trots back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one, but let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory, like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Delayed give, Goff to Gurley. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. To throw on 2nd and 6. Goff. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 42. And that'll be caught by Cup. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. To throw again on 2nd down. Goff. They'll find Everett there, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 26. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Gerald Everett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer. Now Goff will lead the Rams up to go for 2.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for Los Angeles, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they...
Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to